Well, hello there, Minecrafters. Thanks for coming by. We're back in Diversity 2. Today, the developer commentary. That is the series where I talk about the map that I was lucky enough to spearhead and have 5 amazing builders help me out with. Today, we are going into the escape branch. So I really like that. I really like that branch, and I've got a lot to talk to you guys about that one. But before we get into that, I wanted to tell you spoilers, as I do always. Definitely play that branch before you check out this episode, because I really don't want to ruin it for you. Also, we talked about parkour, trivia, arena, and adventure branches in past episodes, so check them out. And we're almost halfway done, man. Oh man, it's been a long time. Anyway, let's head into, again, spoilers. Let's head into the escape branch, and this was quite a bit different than Diversity 1. Now, if you haven't played Diversity 1, or if you haven't played Diversity 1, you probably haven't played my other map, Complex. But the escape branch in Diversity 1 was totally different than this escape branch. It was more of a portal or puzzly sort of unseen enemy type map. And hopefully it gave you that escaping attitude, like you're caught by the map and you don't know how to get out. And this was a lot different. Now, the escape branch of Diversity 1 was actually sort of a spiritual sequel or a revamped version of my first map, Complex, my first adventure map, Complex. So you should check them out. They're pretty fun. But this here, actually, this wasn't even the original escape branch for Diversity 2. I was building a prison escape. I actually thought I definitely need to do a prison escape map. I for sure want to do a prison escape map when I started building that branch. And it just got to the point where I'm like, it's way too similar to Complex. So I scrapped it. I don't even think I have the file anymore. I had probably about 10 minutes of gameplay made for it. And eventually this is what came out. So we're going to head into the pyramid, but it is quite a bit different in the fact that it's pretty much an adventure map. But the main difference is there's really no story. You kind of make your own story. There's almost 0 words in the map, intentionally, in the branch. And we'll talk about that later, if I remember. And also, it's focused on... Oh, I kind of made up in my head. I have this backstory of this Egyptian race sort of thing that used to be here, and they're gone, and you come across their old home or whatever. But to me, an escape map is something where the map is trying to kill you, be it traps or, I don't know, false passages or something. That's what, to me, an escape map is. I know a lot has to do with that attitude of I'm trolling you, but I really wanted to present a type of map that was all about traps, and it got to the point where with these traps, I tried to replicate the original adventure map before we had all these genres, when there were only a few well-known map makers, kind of the pioneers like Jiggerbob or Ron Smilik or Vladimir was around then. You know, the older, not old guys, but the guys who pioneered map making in our community. And what they made, I wanted to sort of replicate that feel. And a big part of that is no command blocks, trying to use more redstone. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And I think a lot of people really enjoyed it, but some people, I think, hated it. But anyway, let's head into the pyramid. Now, before I jump down there, I just wanted to show you. These are actually intentionally that way. I do this quite a bit in my maps, these 4 colors. Because in my original map, Complex, these were actually the 4 main colors of the doorways. They were the main colors of the... I don't want to ruin the story. You should definitely play that map. But they were the main colors of the focal points of the different entities. I don't want to really say too much. But anyway, you'll see this later. We've got emerald, lapis, gold, and redstone. Of course, I changed them a little bit. But down here, we've got the first drop here, and I thought, when people come across this, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to see a hole. I'm going to just drop down. I'm going to drop down. Why? Just because there's a hole, and the map maker wants me to. So here we go. You drop down, and you die. You are such an idiot. Why would you just drop down, drop down a hole? You're not too brilliant. So anyway, here we are in sort of a, he's not even attacking me. There we go. Here we are in sort of a, I want to make it look sort of like a prison pit where the Egyptian sort of group, oh man, I'm getting hurt here. There is a little lever. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. They are coming after us. Well, oh no, I might have to go creative just to move on with this. Okay, here we go. Anyway, so I guess there's a little bit of Star Wars in this. I don't know. But I'm thinking there's sort of a backstory in my head of an Egyptian race. What did I do that for? Of an Egyptian race that kind of died out in this place. And this was where they threw their prisoners to die, and they had monsters coming out of the holes and everything. I don't know why it opens up there, but in my head, I'm having this sort of backstory of you're across this deserted pyramid, and there's this whole sort of civilization that landed under here. So anyway, you can see, first off, no command block sort of thing. There are command blocks, but we've got pistons that pop out, sort of to make it feel like that old style. And then it's all sort of sandstone to make it look completely different than the quartz feel of Diversity 1. So then we have our missing button, or our hidden button there. And these are supposed to be, when you saw these, they're supposed to be like, okay, those look kind of like doors that might open. How do I open those doors? Which really, they are sort of the locked doors from the outside where the Egyptian people would throw the prisoners away to be eaten by the monsters or something. I don't know. Whatever it is in my head. And of course, we drop down here and there's no return. No return to get in. Until you get to here, and technically you could escape. But you come across this little journal here. So you look at the journal and there's no author. Just says leave this place. And I've got some text here that this is basically the only story presented to you. And it's sort of breaking the fourth wall, telling the person writing this is saying, I know why you're here. You're here to get the wool. But there is a bigger danger here in the Minecraft world. And I like this part here. How stupid we were, you and I, to simply leap into the center of that hole at the beginning as if we were smarter than the makers, as in if we were smarter than the map makers. This just kind of me sort of making fun of the player, saying, you know what, I got the upper hand here, man. You may be playing this map, but I'm gonna be in charge here. I'm gonna decide if you live or die. So basically, it just tells you, it's sort of a joke sort of thing, where he says, you got to leave this place, so you got to do it. This is actually this guy, Dr. Zombo, used up the last of his resources to craft the book and chest, and at the very end, this whole little spiel of be warning. He says, "Oh, I'm using my final breath to tell you this. Double check my spelling, please," and dies, I guess. Well, signs his name and dies. Now, Dr. Zombo, if you've played Diversity 1, that should have rang some bells, because Zombo is the zombie king from Diversity 1 in the adventure branch. So this is sort of me tying the two maps together, giving a little bit of a nod back for people who have played it. Now, this was all kind of blown out with TNT to make the passages. I thought that was kind of a way to do it, to kind of give that idea of that old school map feel. I've got torches randomly placed throughout here to make it feel like Dr. Zombo walked through here, placed these torches, couldn't find where he was going, lived too long, crafted the book and chest, and died, I guess, until you get to the very end here, and we've got this little river thingy here. Now, I've seen people swim down, which kind of makes me laugh, but the point is you got to go up, and I've always wanted to do this in some sort of map, or even in my base in my old survival world, was make a creeper's mouth that opens up, and then you walk through it. I just thought that would be really creepy and really cool. And you see we have fire, and that is because to signify that there's no sort of power. We don't want to put redstone lamps, or we don't want to put sea lanterns. We want to put some type of older technology here. This is to make you think that, you know, the lever is making the blocks move, although it is actually just doing some command blocks. But if you look at the old Indiana Jones movies, it's like this older technology of these rocks sliding out of place. And how do they do that? I don't know. I don't even know if it's like, if there are real pyramids where they have sliding blocks, or maybe that's just a Hollywood thing. But that's what the feel of this map is, the feel of this branch is supposed to portray. So up here we have a trap that basically, yeah, there we go, we die. There's a bunch of skulls down here. We've got some bloody floors. That's the wrong way. I love watching people go the wrong way. You know, I'm not going to give you any hint. It's just, you know, you got a 33% chance to get it right. That one's wrong. That one's wrong. This one's right. And then once you get to here, you can hit this, and we're opening that type of door. So that's kind of going back to the beginning where you saw those doors opening away. And here we go. We're back in these 4 colors here. So we've got these. You open this. Here we go. We've got these that open up. I love how you can turn them back down and on there. But we got the important colors. We got the emerald, the lapis, the gold, and the redstone. But I thought lapis and redstone weren't really that Egyptian type gemstone thing. So I renamed them sapphire and ruby, just to make you feel like you're a little bit more immersed into an Indiana Jones type adventure, I guess. And again, here we have tripwires. So yeah, I could do it. I could have made them launch at player detection, but I'm thinking, how did they make maps back before? Yeah, that's pretty easy. Back before before we had command blocks, they had to use redstone and sort of things like that. And also, it's that whole feel of if you were to walk in an old pyramid of booby-trapped devices, you stepping on a on a tripwire could set off some fire charges or arrows or something like that. And then you're given an emerald ankh. Now, an ankh is some sort of I'm not entirely sure what it is. I think it's a Egyptian religious mythological symbol or something. But I thought it kind of suited the feel. Like, we've got a pyramid, and the cool thing is you place it on here, and it sucks it back in. So this is sort of that again, it's the Indiana Jones sort of thing where objects just slide into place. Like, if you've seen it in the Hollywood movies where you put the stone somewhere, and then the other rock drops down slowly and all that sort of stuff. So we've got our underwater maze, we've got our tripwires, we've got this cool thing, which the only reason we have glowstone is for recording, because when you set this up here, it's a little bit laggy, but not bad with a decent computer. And we've got some bloody sand there from people who have tried before and died. But I thought that would be really cool. I hadn't really seen that in the map before, but I'm sure it's been. I just haven't personally seen a wall that opens and closes. But again, that is that Indiana Jones or Hollywood type trap thing. And then the final one was there we go. was my way of trying to think of a trap that you could build in survival, like not a command block trap. So even though it's not really a trap, it is a little bit tricky to do. So I'm just going to, for sake of time, just grab these. I don't really need to go in there. You've probably played them. If you haven't, why are you watching this video? You should have played the map first. Again, slides in, and then slides in. You can see all the sand falls down into place. I love this. So we have some bloody... I wish this could have been sand, but because of the way the sand has to fall, I made it carpet. There's a bunch of hoppers under there. But I absolutely love this so much. I used it in the trailer. The falling sand, I have always wanted to make a falling sand bridge that you could reset and well, not always, but it's ever since I started making maps, I've always wanted to do this. Finally figured out a way that is pretty cool and pretty fun to do. Okay, let's go. Can we make it? I think I can. One interesting thing, there we go, is a lot of people didn't see this other button here. That's for when you go in two-player or whatever, multiplayer. You just hit it and then your friends can walk over. They don't have to try. Only one person has to make that technically. This lighting here is how I used to light up my hallways in my cave in my survival world. So then we come to this sort of staircase. Again, this is supposed to be the old... well, I should go in adventure mode. This is supposed to be the old style of Egyptian type civilization. I was thinking they could probably have like broken staircases that fell, like a staircase that fell apart. I don't know why they would come down here through that. Logically, it doesn't really make sense, but it's pretty cool to feel. And then we have this stupid little return to hub, but I have to have it just in case. I've never seen anybody use it, but just in case some people's like, I just don't want to do this part anymore. You got to have something in there. And then we have cactus parkour, because that's the way guys used to make adventure maps. You have to, not really cactus parkour. And the trick is, wait till you're hit and then jump. Yeah, I just failed my own trick. You can actually go all the way over here. You can go up here. You can jump down here. And then, there we go. And over like that. Pretty cool. So then the whole map is not hard at all, but it's fun because it's a lot different, I think. I actually got this also a little bit from a friend of mine who played on an old server, had a cactus maze, and I first got introduced with that sort of thing from there, but I've seen a lot of people do sort of cactus parkour, make you jump off of a stupid cactus. So this part here, you eventually come to this crypt. Now, I intentionally, if you thought this looked somewhat familiar, intentionally tried to replicate the crypts from Skyrim. I think I did a pretty decent job in terms of Minecraft, but it is pretty repetitive. But that is completely inspired by the crypts from Skyrim. Now, I will show you something here. We gotta go... no, not that guy. I got told a lot that this was a bug, but it was intentional. Little detail that you may have not noticed. Where is the... There we go. See how this guy is actually not facing out. All of them are facing out, or pretty much out, except for this guy. That means that he's actually looking there. That means that it's a hint to tell you that it's going to open to something, or there's something there. I don't think anybody got that. You find a button, and again, we've got the piston moving, and we've got this little image here. So he's facing that way. We've got an image. We can see there is an item frame with a skull pointing that direction. And let me find another one. I'll actually show you where they all are, because one of them, pretty much, I would say 90% of people couldn't see, and I think, there it is, right there. See, we've got one facing that way. Ugh. You can hit it if you're... Oh, wait, is that? There we go. And there we go. We got the other one. That was the one most people just guessed on. But you can see it opens there, and then on the other side, just in case you didn't see them, we've got one over here, which is at the bottom, I think. There we go, and you can see he's facing the other way. Whatever is facing that way, and so that's clue to tell you that there is an opening there. And then the last one over here is where is it? These are actually not really, well, they kind of are resettable, but this is done by command blocks, but I wanted to make it look like it's done by redstone. So, there, I have the glitch. I finally got that glitch. Let me just, here, watch. I will Just 1 second. Let me load exit the map. And there we go. See, that glitch there, a lot of people said, I'm missing a skull. That's not the map. That's actually Minecraft messing up. I can't do anything about it. Unfortunately, that is a bug. Check out Jira because you can report it. But anyway, so you're given the 4 sort of clues. When I found out that Mo Yang, whatever, gave the ability to change the item frames to get a signal off of from redstone, I really wanted to make an item frame puzzle. I thought, one, not a lot of people have done it, and two, it's a really, really cool traditional, not traditional, but a very classic puzzle. We'll put it that way. Classic. Now, what is the combination? I think it's this, and this. Yeah. Oh, I have it memorized. Nice. And then you're given these things, which actually you get removed later. So I kind of cheated the way that works, and we'll talk about that in the next episode in the commands. But then you go over here, and this part I really, really love because take a look at this place. You know what? I'm going to show you something, okay? I'll just be right back. All right, guys. Does this look familiar to anyone? We've got sort of, I don't know, red carpet or something down the middle with some sandstone, and we've got these little fence posts here. We got a chandelier in the middle. We got a throne here. We've got King Steve. We got the B team. Yeah, this is the adventure branch from Diversity 1. Now, if you notice, we've got this opening here. We've got a staircase. I'm going to go up here and just give you a glance at this. We got this sort of fence post here. Take a quick look. Nothing back here, but we've got this as well. Because in Diversity 2, I copied it, but I changed it a little bit. So let's head back into Diversity 2 for a sec. Okay, so now you can see it is completely, actually it's a copied over with some minor changes, but we've got some different types of wood. We've got the acacia stuff. We've got different types of fences. Just make it look a little bit darker, you know. Down here we've got, I really like the way that actually the bark there is on there and the stairs go up. I think those colors complement each other really well. Torches are basically placed in the same spots. And we've got sand instead of sandstone this time. This is sandstone instead of cobblestone. And we have our carpet here. Now, as I said before, this is kind of like an ancient Egyptian civilization. They've all died out. So there's nobody living here anymore. They've all left. The throne is still here. A few people, I think, remembered this. But it was supposed to remind you and say, oh, man, I've been here before. I don't know where. Can't remember, but I've been here. Down here we have, I guess this is kind of where the civilization would have brought their prisoners. They could open the sliding doors. You're back at the beginning. I ended up having to close this off because players were getting stuck down there. This was quite a few releases ago. I updated that. So you basically, if you go down here, you just go back up again. But I was thinking this is kind of where they would come down and actually toss the prisoners to be eaten alive by the silverfish or whatever they would be in ancient Egypt. I kind of tried to build it with purpose as to this was a real type of living space, even though there are not really any bedrooms or kitchens or anything. And then up here again, like this just goes up to the top. I'm not really sure if we need to go up. You know, I'll just go on game mode 3 just to go real quick to show you. You know, here we go. Look at all this stuff. It goes up to the very beginning, which is kind of an escape, I guess. That was tricky to make. I wanted to make it look like pistons, but it's command blocks that does it. We're brought back here. But this is kind of like the secret passage, because in those Indiana Jones movies, they always have secret passages. This is where the civilization would actually come down, and I guess this is where they make their sacrifices. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure how the math works. That's also why these are able to be moved back, resettable, because logically, the civilization would want to lock it back after them. Let me just actually, I think if I kill myself, I start back down there. Oh man, this is bad. Okay, I'm gonna head over there. Okay, I guess I didn't have that spawn point set, but anyway, yeah. So this is between an Indiana Jones type feel and the classic map style, and a logical reason for things to exist. That's why those openings are there. But finally brings you to the end portion here. One of my absolute favorite joys to watch, people, is the old Pharaoh Steve down here. So I thought, man, that would look like a cool sarcophagus. I put some barrier blocks there because I didn't want people to actually jump off. I want them to say, oh, what is that? And get that, just that little moment of mystery, that moment of, that's a little bit spooky. You come down here, you go around, and we're using lava lighting because it's, yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be there. I wonder if that's a mistake. I'm missing a hole that's missing because we don't want to put anything that's too new technologically. We want to use natural type of lighting they would have used then. That's why we got torches and lava. And then we open this chest and we have a sarcophagus. So you can actually finish the map. You don't have to. You don't have to have him pop out. Spoiler if you haven't seen it, he pops out and scares you. The point is that we have good Pharaoh Steve's head, and in the original Diversity map, we had good King Steve. He's actually kind of the same guy, or it's sort of nodding back to the first one. And oh man, avert your ears if you haven't played that map. But spoiler, King Steve was actually evil in Diversity 1, so he's evil again, but because they call him good, it's sort of a trick. If you try and steal his head, oh, he comes alive and tries to kill you. Let me just go in game mode seed. Now, a little detail. I love how it breaks up there. Oh, we have, see, we've got a little bit of lamps. I wonder why I used lamps. Oh, I used lamps to, because I hate lit pumpkins, but to make a signal travel through because it was a redstone. Anyway, we'll get in that later. If you notice in the chat, we've got this is actually an Ankh symbol, I believe, in brackets, and we have "awoken me from my eternal slumber." That's just to freak you out. That's basically the only thing he ever says. That's the only words you get in the map besides "return to hub" or the original book. I wanted to kind of leave that story up to your own imagination. But this little thing right here is interesting because that's intentionally there to give a nod back to the way they used to make adventure maps when the command blocks first came out. You didn't have Telraw, you had to trick it, and I've actually renamed the command block that way just to put that little nod back into the old school maps. But anyway, then he freaks everybody out. They get scared. They run down here, hit the button. You've got your precious cyan wool. You've escaped the escape branch and hopefully had some fun. So that is my thought process of how that branch went. I was really proud of that one. And seeing some of the old school map makers really get enjoyment out of it because it brought back that nostalgia. Man, that does not look like cyan. I don't know what Dinnerbone was thinking about that color. I really enjoyed their take on that. They loved that because it's reminiscent of how they pioneered our community. Next time we're going to be talking about the commands, how, and a bit of the redstone, how the gimmicks and the traps and things worked. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed that little look at the escape branch. And we'll see you next time in Diversity 2. Enjoy your Minecrafting and have a great day.